Hey, so here I am again today. Today I'm coming to you because I didn't even plan coming back on here for like a week at least. But when I woke up this morning and when I did go on social media, the first thing I seen was Regina King's only son had died by suicide. I don't even know Regina personally, but it tore at me. I've seen this woman with him looking happy, proud of him. Just seen her in the holiday fall playing an awesome role. Seeing her sporting her dress and just celebrated her 50th birthday and her one and only son. That outwardly and inwardly maybe as well, I don't know, she loved with all her heart, and he even posted very great things about his mom. And yet he still committed suicide. First and foremost, your mind can be a very dangerous place to be. We could have love, we could have hate, we could have everything going on around us, these good things. It's something that our mind just, it goes to a dark place. I've been there several times. And in November and into December, it was the darkest. Eventually I saw light before I succumbed to my mind, but everybody doesn't. I remember when I was a teenager, a close family member of mine was speaking of suicide. I think I was 16. I was no more than 17 because I know where I was living. So I was 16. I had to be 16. And a family member was talking about suicide, and I remember how I called him dumb and you stupid. Don't nobody do no suicide. That's the dumbest thing ever. That's so selfish. He didn't commit suicide, but I thought about that the first time that I thought about suicide a few years ago. I was like, I'm glad that he didn't commit suicide, because the tactic that I used didn't make sense, because I was only going by what people have told me about people that commit suicide, who they are, people that never even been to the place of darkness that gets you there to suicide. I listened to them. So the first time I thought about it, the first thing I reflected back to is that time when I was a teenager and my family member was talking about it. That same family member, 20 years later, started talking that way again. And this is before I had those thoughts. But for some reason, I came at him differently this time, because I was in Frederick, Maryland at that time, and he was in Anne Arundel County. I was a little too far to get away to him while he was talking to me, and how he was speaking, it sounded like he was serious. I didn't know if he was doing it for, at that point, really for attention, or if he was serious, but I felt more as though he was serious. And so I told him let me call him right back, but what I did was I had called the Anne Arundel County Police Department. let them know that I had a suicide threat, gave him the address, and then I called him back and was on the phone with him. They showed up within like 2 minutes and pounded on his door, but he wouldn't let him in. But the thing was, he knew most likely that somebody cared enough to reach out, but at the same time, maybe his shame of not wanting to go with them to the hospital or something, maybe, you know, kept him from opening the door. But neither here nor there. That person's still living today, and I don't know if he'll ever call me again about any of those notions again, but that was the second time, and the second time I think I handled it a little bit better than I did the first time. Then, not too long after that, I had another close family member that I got a call about that stated that that family member had took some pills and had left, kept calling their phone and telling them that they took the pills and that they were going to die and it was going to be their fault. This was due to a breakup. I got in my car and I went to that family member's house, and the family member was in there, and an empty pill bottle was beside them, and they were laying in the bed. The paramedics came. Found out that at that time, though, that it was a fake thing. The person actually didn't take the pills, but they wanted the person to think they did. But still, with that type of mentality, something was wrong, and I had the power to help that person, and they didn't get away with doing that just in case they decide to do it for real. I actually had that person admitted to a mental hospital. It was 3 days, but it was 3 days that they realized, you know, that's not something to joke with. Also, if you thought about it, this is what happened. So the person got counseling for those few days while they were there, and then additional counseling when they got out. With me, it was, I don't know what stopped me. Well, I do know. Basically, the way I feel, if it was my time, I wouldn't have been stopped. I would have done it. But that place is real dark, you guys. And if a person says it or you see something different, pay attention. But it's also people out here that it looks like everything's fine. But you got to pay attention because the signs are there. I know, just like all my life when I look back, the signs were there for me that something was wrong. But people's sight is not a great vision. And mental health is serious, guys. I can't express it. And my trauma is my trauma, but there's so many other traumas. Society is a trauma. Your race can make traumas. And just because you deal with it differently, the other person is not weak or a bad person or something, or Everybody handles things differently. That's why we're all unique. We need each other. I'm praying for all of us because some of us walk around like nothing, like everything's good, and it's not. Today is just a very sad day for me just because of her. And I don't even know her, but I have 6 children. She had 1. And it's not like if something happened to one of my children that I can replace them with the other one. That's not how it goes either. But one, he's gone. Something in his mind was really dark. And he couldn't see the light. God bless everybody.